Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, readers of all persuasions. It is I, Gayla, and welcome back to Book Uncorked and Caffeinated. And let's just get the elephant in the room out of the way. You've seen this sweater quite a few times. I'm batch recording today, so please excuse me. I'm just trying to get this thing done. But that's not what you're here for. I'm actually starting a new series on my channel called Book Around or Booked Around. I'm not quite sure yet, but I'm still playing with the name, and you'll know about time this video comes out. But I really want to start visiting independent BIPOC bookstores actually around the country. And so I travel quite a lot domestically and internationally, and so I'm going to start this series by doing domestic bookstores around the country, and starting with the tri-state area. I live in New York, so Jersey, Connecticut, Delaware, those states are easy to get to by car, or even if I take the train for the day and make a whole thing of it. So today starts the first one. Although we are in the month of February, I plan on doing this every month. So last month, at the end of the month, January, I just barely made it. I visited a bookstore named The Lit Bar here in the Bronx. This bookstore was started a few years ago by Noelle Santos. I actually know her, not know her like that, but she had a book club, and she started the book club because she really wanted to see how many people read, especially Black women readers, how many authors there were. And she also started during the time where the Bronx lost the only Barnes and Noble that they had in the borough. And so her bookstore was like enterprise, and it was the first one. You can have like coffee and wine and go with books and things like that. You can have book club meetings there and all the things. And so I wanted to highlight that. She's gotten a lot of traction. She's very popular now. But I also wanted to highlight she's one of the very first, I would say the very first bookstore that I noticed that had that thing attached to it with wine and chilling and having a place in a space for readers and authors and things of that nature. So I went to, she was the first one that I wanted to do because she was the first one that I remembered in this space. And so while I was there, I'm not gonna lie, I know I'm going to be adding to my list, but I'm trying to curate lists and books I want to buy based on what's coming out and support those independent stores, BIPOC book stores. And so I bought 3 books that day, and they were all by BIPOC authors, I believe, yes, for the most part. And the first one I picked up was the Black Crossword 100 Mini Puzzles Celebrating the African Diaspora by Juliana Pachi. I believe that's how you pronounce her last name. Easy to medium level. This is becoming very popular. She had both of them. She had the second one also. But in the vein of trying to save money, I said I have to complete this one before I buy the second one, or volume 2, as I should say. And I just want to read a little bit of the introduction because I thought this was super cool. It said, I love starting my day with a stimulating challenge followed by a sense of completion. One morning in October 2022, I did my morning routine of completing quick, fun digital word games when I was stumped by a crossword clue that, to be honest, felt very white and in white. And while I didn't necessarily think that was some kind of injustice in that instance, one of the beautiful things about crosswords is the opportunity to learn new information and make connections. I wondered if daily Black culture-focused crossword puzzles existed online. After doing many searches and not finding anything current or updated regularly, I decided to launch a daily puzzle myself, and thus in January 2023, the Black Crossword was born. I thought that was super cool. It was not my first time seeing it. I actually missed the book tour that happened in Brooklyn a few months ago, but I definitely want to support this author, and I like crossword puzzles myself. My stepdad was really into them. He did like Sudokus and all of that stuff. The New York Times crossword puzzle every week and things of that nature. So I'm really interested in the culture of it all. So this is the first one, and like I say, when I complete this one, I will come back to get volume 2. The second book that I got that day is Bronx Not Noir. Just like I got the Brooklyn one. What else I got? I have the Brooklyn one. I think I have New Orleans. and I have another one, but definitely wanted to pick this up. I am a native Brooklynite, but I've been in this area of New York for quite some time, for at least the last 15 years. So I wanted to embark on the stories of the Bronx. And we always hear about the Bronx influence on hip hop and things of that nature, and the culture, the Black culture in general. And so I wanted to read that as well. And said, yeah, it says each book is comprised of all new stories, each one set in a distinct neighborhood or location within the city of the book. So this one is about the Bronx. So happy to have bought that. And last but not least, this really caught my eye. It's a novel, Acts of Kindness by Mura Cheeks. And it says, from Philadelphia to Mississippi, the country simmers with tension, unease, and hopeful glee. Every American waits with bated breath to see whether or not the country's first female president will pass the Forgiveness Act. The bill would allow Black families to claim up to $175,000 if they can prove that they are descendants of slaves. And for the ambitious single mother, Willie Revel, the bill could be a long-awaited form of redemption. And I know it says descendants of slaves, enslaved people. And so that sounds super interesting, super connected to today. And so I wanted to read what this author's take was on something that is kind of the narrative of that we going on today. So those are the 3 books. This is episode 1 of Book Around. And I hope you continue to come around to look at all the independent BIPOC bookstores that I will be exploring, and hope I can add some things to your list, especially in the New York areas where I will be starting, and hopefully bring attention to, you know, bookstores around the country and support indie authors. I'm not saying I would never buy from Barnes & Noble or other types of booksellers, but I'm going to be honest and try to be very intentional in the years that follow to create space and generate revenue for people that look like me. In saying that, do all of the things: like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.